I spent a lot of my childhood reading and unsupervised, so you can imagine I got into some literary trouble. It started innocently enough, getting lost in Narnia with the kids of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I graduated to The Witches by Roald Dahl, but then, one day, I meandered into the adult section of the library. At 11 or so, I started reading chick lit with titles like The Dirty Girl Social Club. I don't think you need a synopsis. Things got weirder. I started picking up Western romances and Harlequin romantic novels. I read about cowboys making love to damsels that they pinned to trees, with consent, of course. Scientists working on a love potion in a lab before tearing off their lab coats and screwing next to the test tubes and Bunsen burners. And couples getting it on the back of their carriages as they traveled cross-country for the gold rush. Say what you want about those cheesy covers, but let me tell you, those sex scenes were steamy. I started cutting to the chase and skipping to the scenes where the main characters gave into their passion and made sweet love. And then I stopped that coy shit altogether and took a deep dive into erotica. I obviously always felt something when I was lying in my bed under the covers reading after my bedtime. Things felt funny and good down there, but I didn't know enough to touch it. I mean, I didn't even know where a tampon went until I was 17. My dad didn't even let me have sex ed. So reading these books was like a real revelation to me. It wasn't until I was 13 that I finally had my own room. One night, I started reading one of my romance novels, skipping to the sex scenes as I usually did, when I started to get the same feeling I always did. But this time, holy fucking shit, I saw stars. I must have come in less than 30 seconds. Needless to say, I fell right to sleep. I just felt like I had made this huge, amazing discovery, and I just felt so proud of myself for making it. And I was like, I wish I'd known about this sooner. I kept doing that every day for at least another month, and it just kept getting better and better. When I started having sex, it generally did not live up to my expectations in a lot of ways. Reading romance novels definitely set up really high expectations that aren't necessarily always met. I've learned to trust myself more and trust what feels right as opposed to trying to fit into something that just looks good on paper, literally. I still think the best sex I've ever had is with myself. Every time I touch myself or learn a different way to make myself feel good, I feel more confident to bring that into my sexual experiences with other people. Masturbation is a science. You use trial and error to learn what works and what doesn't. And I'm a serious scientist.